Hi guys, it's Seja. So this is the video that I had promised in my last vlog. Thank you so much for all the super sweet comments on it. It's really nice to see people putting positive things in the comment section on YouTube because these days our jagah se hate hi milta hai. So as promised, I'm going to talk about YouTuber, influencer, work life, how we make the money and just the whole business side of things. I haven't done a video like this before, but I've spoken about this pretty much every time I've been to like a college to do one of those how to be a YouTuber sessions. I used to do a lot of these before, and this is personally something I get really excited by, and I think it's one of the things that I feel proud of that I get to do by being a creator. So I'm in my suit feeling businessy, and this is going to be a really long video. I have made a really long list of points, so I'm going to put timestamps of each topic in the description box below, so please click on those timestamps if you want to listen to those specific topics. वैसे तो पूरी video देखनी नहीं चाहिए, that will be the best. Okay, so before I break down everything that creator does, let's call ourselves a creator. Influencer kind of seems like a weird term to me because it sounds like a fake job firstly, and it's basically a term that brands and people have put together to refer to us. There are Bollywood celebrities and then there are influencers, which is like a rank below, it's something that brands and these PR agencies have come up with, but it's cool for us. All of us actually like to call ourselves creators. I think it just sounds like a legit job. So before anything, the list of things that I'm going to share with you are something that I have worked on for 5 years. I started my channel, I posted my first video in 2014, 7 September 2014. I just posted one video very randomly when I was in my second year of college, and from then till today, it's been 5 years of lots and lots of hard work and a lot of growth. So everything that I'm going to share today, all the work stuff that I do today, is something I didn't get today. I started off with just me, my camera. That was the only time I had taken money from my parents to get some kind of equipment, and after that I've been totally self-sufficient and grown very, very slowly. It was just me and my camera. Then I bought my first tripod with some extra cash I made. I used to Google ways to make cool videos with just me and my tripod because I know at that time I couldn't afford anything. In terms of clothes, I would only restrict using my old clothes or my mom's clothes or stuff that I got from street markets. And dheere dheere karke, as I started growing more, with one addition, first time hiring a videographer, first time buying something new to use in a video, upgrading to a new camera. Please don't get intimidated by all of this. Everything will happen slowly. It will take its time, but it is possible. I'm telling you, trust me. So let's start. What we do is, it's sort of like a business, right? It's a freelancing business, I would say, like a professional business. And our main product is our videos. Specifically, videos that I post on YouTube. So I used to do 2 videos a week before. Right now I'm doing once a week. And all the content that I post on Instagram. So nowadays there's so much more. There's Instagram videos also, reels, stories, just the feed posts. So all of that is my end product. And that is what I have to work on creating. So in this product, there's a lot of different things. For me specifically, I shoot a lot of my content inside in my room, like this video or some of the videos I do on Instagram, and a whole lot of it is outdoors, somewhere outside in a market or on the streets or maybe in a forest, different locations. So it's a mix of indoor and outdoor, and this is important. I will tell you as we go on. So let's talk about the skills that are needed to make this profession happen. So basically, this video is also kind of like a response to my rant against judgy uncles and aunties who just think, and other people who just think whatever we do is just, it requires like very little skill set ki bas camera pe sundar lagna aana chahiye and that's it. But I made a list of skills that are necessary for this. First, of course, on camera presence. That is something that you have to keep working on. From my first video till today, I think I've gotten a lot better. So that's something you have to keep working on. Second is to be able to edit videos and photos. I am fully capable of editing all my YouTube videos and all my photos. And in some cases, I do work with freelancers and videographers for more high-level things. That also means being able to use these editing softwares, being able to use softwares like Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, Lightroom, all of those phone editing apps, and that's something you have to actively put your time into to be able to learn. And for me, I haven't been to any sort of special school to learn these things. It's all YouTube tutorials and hit and trial with all the videos that I've made. So 600 videos बनाने के बाद धीरे धीरे सारे skills develop हो गए. Number 3 is ideating videos. So there are two aspects to this. The first is of course coming up with the idea, the concept, basic concept of the video, that hey, I want to make say a dance video on this song. Now the second is the screenplay, how it will look on screen. So that goes from the kind of shots you're going to be using, the kind of lighting you want, the mood you want. That will also go into the kind of clothes you want, how the intro section has to be like this. Is there a storyline in that intro section? And this gets more and more detailed with the kind of video. So if I'm making a skit video, then I have to figure out the different characters that are there, what the dialogues will be, how crisp the intro section will be. So it's different skills with different kinds of videos. And because I've done pretty much all kinds of videos from fashion, music, dance, acting, skits, travel vlogs, so I have taught myself these skills again by trial and error and looking at what other creators are making, so taking inspiration from there. Then fourth, super important, actually this is the most important I feel, the talent, like music, dance, acting, gathering information for an information based channel. Basically this is completely dependent on the kind of content that creators making. Say if it's tech reviews, then you have to have the work ethic or the talent to be able to sit down every day and gather all that information and organize it in the right way. If you're doing music, you need to go for your music lessons, practice your singing, dance, same thing, fashion, work on your styling. So this is also something that takes a lot of time and effort. But again, I personally feel that talent comes second. Not everyone is born with skills that you see on camera, but as you practice more, you can develop these skills. 5 is being social media savvy. So I know a lot of people, especially like my mom, she just started her channel, she's a little older, so she struggles with social media a lot. And even for me, like all the new stuff like TikTok and all of that, it takes me a while to grasp it, but you need to be really quick with how to make the quickest IGTV videos, reels, YouTube pe kya chalta hai, and you know, just having that sense that what is the best for each platform and what kind of video will work. And that also comes with time. As you make more and more videos, it will fit in your head. The 6th is branding and marketing abilities. Now, little different, but if you're putting out content like me, from the time I started till today, I have built a personal brand around myself, and not a lot of it has been intentional. I've always tried to be myself and just let things flow, but just to package it in the right way. When you talk about your channel to someone else or a brand or a potential collaborator, it's nice to be, you know, nice to have that skill where you can market yourself in the best way possible. This goes from talking about yourself to writing down your media kit, which is a document that shows all your best skills. It's like a pitching document, to pitching to brands to collaborate with you. So that requires a lot of marketing skills. And the 7th is time management. Now again, really important for a creator, especially like me with a small team, right? A lot of the tasks I'm doing all by myself, and I'm the boss of my entire own operation. So from a really young age, basically from 2021, I had to learn how to manage my time in the best way possible so that I get all of these tasks done, upload my videos on time, don't miss upload dates. So that requires a lot of discipline and time management. So all of these different tasks, right, that I talked about, editing, shooting videos. Oh shit, I completely forgot, shooting videos, that's a huge one. So you should be well versed with cameras, how to use them, what kind of frames to make, what kind of shots you want in case there isn't someone helping you out. So shooting videos, also directing videos. A lot of my videos that I do, actually most of them, I direct them on my own. So what that means is that how I want the video to flow, I'll be telling the videographer, this is the shot I want, this is how I planned it. So of course, being in the video, making sure the shot is taken that way, then going back and checking if that's what I want, because I know in my head this is how I visualized it. So I did a lot of the stuff on my own entirely for literally 3 years. Only after 3 years did I experiment with hiring my first ever videographer, which was a fail. Trust me, I've made so many mistakes with working with the right people, because once you get into that habit of working alone, it's hard to break out of that shell and give your trust to someone else. So I've made a million mistakes, and like I said earlier, I started with absolutely zero experience and I was only working all of this out with my pocket money. This is totally possible, so please don't get intimidated. A lot of stuff can be done with just you and your phone and a bunch of creativity. So yeah, Okay, moving on to the next aspect, which is costs. A lot of people again don't talk about this aspect, but there are a lot of costs associated with this entire business, right? So first, of course, equipment, which is your camera, the DSLR that I'm making my video on, the mic that I'm using, which is over here, the tripod, the light, phone, my phone that I bought. This phone is specifically bought for the purpose of it having a good camera. The props that I'm using, the clothing, so all of that stuff does add up. The next is location cost. Sometimes when I'm shooting a video outdoor, say in a restaurant, or for one of my music videos, I had rented out this auditorium called Odd Bird Theatre in Delhi. So for that I had to pay for that location. It really hurt my heart, but I thought, okay, it's fine, it's a one-time thing. I can invest in my videos, so let's do it. If you're renting out a studio to do a studio photo shoot, so they also have their specific charges. Okay, and the next big one is your team. So like I said, I started out completely alone, and slowly over 5 years I've built up a small team around myself. So let's talk about that in a little bit of detail. So my team at the moment consists of obviously me. I do a bunch of things. My job title is really not defined, but a million things. So the next is business manager. So everyone says, oh, he has a manager, he's manager, but nobody really knows what that manager does. So a manager in movies and all, how they show us is that one-stop guy who like takes your career to the next level. But at least in my experience, it's basically been I've never had an individual manager. I've always been working with different agencies. So I worked with TVF in the past, who used to manage me, and now I'm working with another agency which is based in Bombay, who manage my work. Their name is Quan. So basically what they do is take care of all of the branding aspects of your work. So whenever I'm associating with the brand, say I did a branded video with Bumble, so they're the ones who responded to that first email, spoke to the brand on my behalf, negotiated with them, and came to the perfect video that we can do, the perfect cost that we can do it at, and coordinated that whole thing. So that takes a lot of effort, and it's really nice to have that one person who takes the responsibility of coordinating all these things on your behalf. And brand deals, yes, I know, big topic, controversial topic, but we'll explain more about that in a second. The next is a PR team. Some people also have a specific PR team to help them market themselves better, get the word out about them, that they are doing this work, and just basically get more people to know about them, get invited to events, just so that they can spread the word around. The next is a lawyer. So I don't have a specific lawyer, but a lot of times when you sign up with an agency like say TVF or Quan or whatever, sometimes they have their own setup in which they have a lawyer and a lot of different people with different skills who can help the person, their clients who are signed with them, with a lot of different things. But it's always advisable that you have your own lawyer as well. When I was really young, when I used to go to this dance class, they made me sign some letter which had something on it, and I signed it bina pade, and I told my lawyer friend Tanisha that, oh, I signed something today, and she said, are you stupid? Never ever sign anything, and always get things read by a lawyer, or at least someone who knows that legal language. So Tanisha actually has helped me with my contracts for the longest time. So she is basically my lawyer, and it's really nice because she is my best friend, so it's been a growth experience for both of us. So she has read all of my long contracts and helped me with all of that. And also, I know when would you have a contract? So basically when you work with a brand, there would be some sort of agreement so that they don't step behind from paying me, or I don't step behind for completing the work that I promised them. So it's a binding thing. Okay, the next other important one is a CA and someone who handles your finance. Again, no one really talks about this. This is also important. So in my case, this is something that's done by my dad. He is really nice for doing this for me. This actually started happening when I had to raise a lot of bills and invoices when I was working with, say, a brand, or if I was hiring a videographer. तो उसमें बहुत सारा paperwork हो जाता है, and उसके taxes file करने होते हैं, and I really didn't understand much of that, and I think I didn't have time for it also. So he was like, chalo, I'll help you with it, and that's why he's only been working with me on that. So we have a separate email on which all that finance stuff happens, and he manages the whole thing really well. So I'm so grateful for him, because otherwise this whole thing would have been a mess. But of course, I'm always in the loop. I always know whatever's happening, and I keep asking him, ये क्यों नहीं हुआ, वो क्यों नहीं हुआ, ये करना है, इसको ऐसे करते हैं. So yeah, and that's also important to know about it so that people don't take you for a ride, and also so that you don't feel like you're stupid. Next, coming to the more creative side of things, another person that I work with is a writer. So this is a writer. So Satvika Jain, you must have seen her name in my videos descriptions many times. So I work with her for over like 6 months or to a year, and even right now on and off we keep working on specific videos. I write scripts for those videos. I know that I love doing these kind of videos, but sometimes I'm not the best at writing down the concept for them, and she has that skill that she's better at. And also me as a person, I'll run out of ideas after a point, right? So we come together, we discuss some ideas, and then we work on a script together, and that's really, really helpful because after 5 years of doing so many videos, it's hard to keep a fresh perspective. So that's also one person. The next is a production manager or a production assistant. So you guys know in my older vlogs, Kaushi used to work with me, and Kaushi was handling all of my production, which means talking to videographers, editors, arranging locations, bringing props, managing that whole ki video अच्छे से shoot हो जाए. That was her task, and that's also a huge one. You know, when you're shooting a video, you need 10 different props, especially if you're shooting outdoor or if you're shooting a skit. So she was that one person who would handle all of that. And coming to videographers and editors, so these people are mostly freelancers in the market who will shoot one video for you and will charge you for that one video. And there are some editors also. Sometimes these videographers only edit the videos, or sometimes you work with a specific editor to edit that video together. So I personally haven't worked with any videographer or editor on a long-term basis. It's really difficult to find because they're mostly all freelancers, so they work per video basis. But you guys know Tushar is one of the videographers in Delhi who I really enjoy working with. He's more like a friend now. So we work together on so many videos. And then there's Jake Sitlani, who is in Bombay, who's amazing as well, and they're all so great. So that's the kind of work they do. Okay, now coming to more specific kind of people. So I do a lot of music videos as well, like my covers and my original songs. So in that case specifically, I needed someone who can handle the music production. So I used to work with Antareeb Hazarika for the longest time. He's a YouTuber, composer, creator, producer. So he used to produce all my covers, and he's a really nice guy, and he's a friend as well. But these people also take a fee per project basis. And my school friend Saptak Chatterjee also does the same work. He has his own music as well, so he worked with me on Aisi Hoon, and of course he has a fee for that project as well. So damn shit dude, all of this stuff costs a lot of money, but it does come together and everything does work out. You know, when I'm reading this list, I'm just like, itna sab kuch hai, but I never like take it seriously. I'm just like, yeah, ho jayega, it's not a big deal. It's just something I started in my bedroom, but it's cool, man. It's really cool that like I've learned all this stuff on my own. And the next is dancers. So for if you're doing a dance video or say like a performance, like I did my Social Nation performance or YouTube Fan Fest, for that I needed dancers to dance with me in the performance, and a choreographer who will choreograph that video. I spoke about it in that video as well. All of that costs money, and I had to pay for it on my own, to pay the choreographer, to pay the dancers, their per day fee. So all of that does take money. And in terms of basic costs, I know all of you will be curious. I don't think it's fair for me to disclose these costs because these are all professionals. Like, I think it'll be really rude of me if I say this is how much Tushar charges or this is how much Jake charges. I think that's their personal thing. That's why I can't include the cost. But if you're someone who specifically is like doing YouTube and wants to get in touch with them, they're available on Instagram, so you should hit them up. They're great people to work with. All the people I spoke about are amazing humans, and I absolutely love them and respect them, so go for it. Okay, now let's talk about the revenue, the money. So this is like the favorite uncle auntie question कि बेटा आप ये सब छोड़ो, videos ठीक है, पैसे कैसे कमाते हो या कितने पैसे कमाते हो? Okay, so I'm going to explain this in a pretty simple way. So the first one is, of course, if you're a YouTuber, YouTube ad revenue, which is great actually. So the ads that you see before each video, so a percentage of that, technically 55% of that, it's available on Google also, goes to the person who's created the video. To be honest with you, it's really not that huge an amount, especially in India compared to other countries. India ka that rate, that CPM rate is really low, which is sad. but that's how it is. But I think it's great because no other platform really pays, so it's nice to have that extra income from YouTube जिसमें हम इतनी मेहनत लगाते हैं to make these videos. So that's number one. Second is brand deals, of course. Brand deals. So I know this is really controversial, and I'm just going to try and explain how this works. So basically what happens is these brands have sort of, they're always looking to promote their products to their audience, right? Because they want people to buy their products. So these days, instead of putting it just on a billboard or just putting an ad out there, they've noticed that certain people, like creators, have these really specific audiences who may be people who like their products. So they, work with them and try and create some videos or content with them that would help their viewers take a look at their products and see if they would like to buy them. So for us, how this works is that a brand will approach you, say through email, or if they have your number from someone else, they'll give you a call and say that this is our product and we're looking to promote it in this specific way. We're looking for you to make a YouTube video or an Instagram post or an Instagram video. Would you be interested? And is this a cost that we can work at together? And then, because it's a freelancing business, we can go back and say that, hey, this is a cost that we're not comfortable with, this is a product that we're not comfortable with, so maybe you can work with someone else, or hey, I really love this product and this works for me, let's go ahead. For us, it's really important to choose the right brand partnerships, to not work with someone completely random who we will not in personal life use or want to be associated with, because like I don't want to take my audience for granted, and I've put so much effort building up my audience, so I don't want to basically do something like that and take that trust for granted. But yeah, technically that's how this works sometimes, and all of these things are specific to the brand. Sometimes they may come to you with, they may want to work with you for a shorter period, or maybe a year, or maybe just a few months. And this is how it works for celebrities as well, actually, which was something I recently learned. And let's talk about the payment. So the payment can happen in many different ways. The payment will be according to whatever the cost is for those specific deliverables, whatever you're charging for a YouTube video or one post on Instagram. So whatever the total is, that's how it will get paid to you. So you have to make a proper bill for them, which is an invoice. So my dad helps me with that, and then they clear it for you. Or sometimes it can even be a barter. Like a barter is literally like a proper term in this industry, which is so weird, right? So sometimes, I'll give you an example of that. I don't really do these barter kind of associations because I just feel I'd rather not. For example, a lot of travel content that you see, I had gone to Fiji with GoPro many years ago, and this is how that happened. I didn't get paid for it, but I agreed to go to Fiji because I thought it would be a cool experience. I get to use their camera, meet their team, and that was a barter. They gave me the trip and the camera, and I made videos for them. So that was it. And a lot of people get scared, creators get scared with these brand deals that, oh, we don't know what to charge, we don't know what to say to these brands and stuff like that. But I think don't be afraid, act like a professional. This is one advice that my mamu gave me. He's a business consultant. I got my first brand deal at 1,000 subscribers, and I acted as much of a professional as I could then as compared to now. Pretty much the same. Very confident, very sure of myself, because I know that I'm putting in a lot of hard work, and I don't think it should be given out for free to someone who wants to sell a product, right? So be confident, be professional, and everything will work out. And also, like I mentioned earlier, this is a long process. From the first email to the post finally coming up, it takes many months, and also to get the payment, it may take even longer. So yeah. And also, how do you get these brand deals? A lot of creators face these problems ki yaar hame brand deals mil hi nahi rahe, so we're technically broke, we're not making any money. Take it slow, it will happen. For me also, till like the first 1.5 years, 2 years, I wasn't really getting a steady income. But once it started happening more regularly. So just keep at it. I think focusing on your content is the best thing you can do, because that is the only thing that will market you really well. And whenever you do meet someone, be nice and be professional, and I'm sure it will work out. The third way you can make money is, in my experience, a different project like acting. So I got cast in Engineering Girls, which is now on Netflix. So that's also a way I made money. So I basically got paid for each day that I was acting. That's how it works in the acting industry. I did a short film with Terribly Tiny Tales. That's another example. The third is merchandise. Now, I haven't done any merchandise. I just did the clothing line with Stock by Love a few years ago, and that kind of worked like a normal brand deal itself. I'm still yet to experiment with merchandise, but I know that's a huge market that people also use to get that extra money. And the fourth, this is my favorite point actually, anything else, like other avenues. The best thing about being a creator or YouTuber in my opinion is that you can take it wherever you feel, and you can do literally anything. It just depends on how creative you are. You can make books. My friend Ranveer Alabadia, he started a talent management agency called Monkey. That's so cool. You can create your own original music, like I did that. You can create a web series. You can create your own like beauty products. You can create your own educational workshops, literally anything. What is the daily hustle like? What is the daily work day like? Firstly, I hate the word hustle. I hate it with a passion. I just think it's so eroding to your mental space. यार काम आराम से भी कर सकते हो, जरूरी नहीं है कि it should hurt your body, and काम हो जाएगा. I hate that word, but anyway, so this is like a typical day or a week in like a creator's life. In my life, बाकियों का शायद अलग होता होगा. So number one, answering emails. So this is how people reach out to you for different collaborations, to work with you, etc. So your mailbox is always full and it needs to be checked every day. And trust me, I have gone weeks without checking my emails, and I would have 2,000 unread emails whenever, you know, if I was traveling or something. So that's just horrible. So every day you should be answering emails, or maybe someone in your team should have access to the emails so that, you know, they can answer it on your behalf and you know what's happening. Second is scheduling video shoots for your own content, like your organic content like this video, or for brand shoots. That's really important. So you need to get your calendar out and, you know, plan ki acha, today I need to shoot this, tomorrow I need to shoot that, next week I need to shoot this. So that will create a lot of tasks in the middle कि उस वीडियो के लिए मुझे ये लोकेशन चाहिए, वो प्रॉप्स चाहिए, तो वो आज अरेंज होने हैं. इस वाली वीडियो का अपलोड डेट नेक्स्ट वीक है, तो उसका एडिट मुझे कल करना है. सो ये सब प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए, एंड इनसे बाकी सारे शूटिंग एंड एडिटिंग टास्क भी निकल आते हैं. दैट कम्स टू शूटिंग ऑफ कोर्स. For me, it happens like 2-3 times a week for YouTube and for Instagram and those brand collaborations, which is actually a lot, like 2-3 days a week. And these shoot days, it's difficult to do anything else on those days. It takes from 6 to 10 hours for me to shoot one video, and I'm really fast. I hate like sitting. It takes me that amount of time, but because it's so tiring, it's difficult to do anything else. Like I literally shot a dance video in a freaking forest, you guys. So I bring this on myself. I'm just like, my forest mein karungi dance video. So I came back with injuries and like scratches all over my body, so it was difficult to do something else. And if you're shooting say like music or dance content, there would be days that you need to rehearse. When I was shooting a couple of dance videos, I had to rehearse with all the girls for 4 days before that. Then the next is brainstorming and writing your ideas for content. So this also takes some time. It takes a day or 2 days to figure out all your ideas. I try and plan my videos in advance. Like I sit down end of the month and next month या next 2-3 weeks का मैं सारा उसी दिन plan कर लूँगी. But बीच में भी I try and take a chill day with the coffee, sit and write whatever ideas I want to do. The next is editing videos and pictures. Now this is a big one. I love editing, and I really like to edit my own content. Like this video I'm editing on my own, and I know it's going to take me 6 to 8 hours to edit it. And it depends, like if I'm editing a travel video or a fashion video, it may take me a longer time to edit. So that's a really long one. And again, same with pictures. You need to edit your pictures to put them out on Instagram. Next is posting on social media, taking care of your YouTube, analytics, playlists, etc. This seems like a really small task, and even I feel like, haha, Instagram pe to post karna. I can literally do it while sitting on the pot. It doesn't take much time. But if I add up, it does take time to like post those pictures, write those captions, keep everything in order. When you go on YouTube, the uploading process takes about half an hour, because what description likhni hoti hai, if you're adding links, you need to write those links properly, put the tags. Sometimes if you're making playlists on your YouTube channel, you need to sort them out, keep everything looking nice and neat. In that process, I also end up reading my analytics a lot, the insights hoti hain to see what your audience is liking, whether your audience is female, male, what's the age group. So all of that does add up, and it does take a couple of hours every day or every couple of days. Another big one is, this is something I personally do because, I don't know, I just keep liking to keep myself busy. I like to brainstorm like other bigger projects that I want to do apart from creating my regular videos. So for example, I'm working on original songs, guys. I didn't want to say it till I was sure about them, but I am working on more original songs. So that's a big project, and I'm brainstorming a lot, you know, every day what I want the videos to be like, what the songs are going to be, and writing the whole thing. So that also takes a long time. For some people it may be starting your clothing line or maybe something else. So that's something that takes a long time as well, and maybe for these specific things you need to meet with other people. Say for example, if I want to start a clothing line, maybe I want to do a meeting with say Juhi Godambe so that she can give me advice. So all those meetings also take a lot of time. But abhi, and the next one is attending events. So abhi to obviously nahi ho rahe, but pehle these events, you know, say Lakme is having an event for their new lipstick launch, or H&M is having a party for their new collection launch. So these things I do feel, or a YouTube event, these things I do feel are important because it helps you firstly meet new people, they're really fun also, but also put yourself out there and, you know, let people know that you're also a creator. And you know, things like Amazon Fashion Week, Lakme Fashion Week, dude, also like getting invited to cool events, ye aise hi nahi hota, matlab that's a huge like journey in itself. The first time I got passes for Amazon Fashion Week, forget being invited by someone who actually wants me there. I had begged my school senior ki yaar koi kahin se pass dila de, you know. So it starts like that, and now fortunately this year 2 designers invited me to attend their show first row. So it's been a huge journey, and sometimes I'm just like, wow dude, like, you know, all that being cheap to people and having WhatsApp messages seen karke chhod dete na log, from that to this, just great. Taking out time for other things like doing live sessions with people. So today I'm doing a live session with UNICEF for mental health, which is so amazing. This is something I've worked on for a long time, and I did an interview with Red FM day before yesterday. So all of these things also take time. Another one is sourcing outfits. Now this is also an interesting one. So you know, you see all these like bloggers, celebrities and all wearing these fancy as designer outfits, and you're just like, how the heck do they have so much money to buy this new shit all the time? So they're not buying it, they are basically borrowing it from different designers or brands to use in their videos, and then they return them. And this is a very common thing, there's no shame. I do this all the time as well, and it's actually really smart because the brands get to show off their new collections through bloggers and celebrities, and for us, we don't have to buy these things, and we can use it for our creative purpose and then give them back. Of course, they have to be in good condition and they can't be like smelly or like ripped and all that, but that also takes time. It takes time to you know, contacts banane mein bhi time like that, to build that relationship with people, and the whole coordination process. You ask someone, couriers coordinate karo, send them back. So that's also a task. Next, just the coordination, production aspect, locations with videographers, with editors, just to coordinate everything. That also takes a lot of time. And the last is specific team meetings and catch-ups with your team. This is a new one for me because I've recently started working with a lot of people, still warming up to it, but you know, making sure everyone who's working with you knows you're on the same page, and just to see सबको task देने के लिए, सबके tasks लेने के लिए, तो उसमें भी time लगता है. Whew. Okay, so I thought maybe like we can go through my calendar. I use Google Calendars. I think it's really easy to organize everything, and let's see what I have been up to in my any week. So I've opened up a week in May. So on Monday I have content brainstorming, check in with my team, film for a few TikToks, the good old TikTok days. Call Satvika from my team to discuss ideas, brainstorm for Instagram, shoot a sari video. So as you can see, there are a lot of different tasks. This is the day I plan to upload my video. And I think a huge thing that is a part of my routine now is to have space for your mental sanity, because all of this stuff can be really overwhelming, and I think it is for me, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I am still a young girl, and kabhi I also feel like I want to escape. But I have taken some time out. These days I meditate for 10-15 minutes every day, and it helps me feel chill and calm. I love my job, but sometimes it just feels like really overwhelming. So I try to like take it easy on myself and, you know, maintain my mental health, really important. And all of this is a huge journey. Like I said, har cheez ek din mein nahi hui hai. Lots of patience involved, and in no way I don't feel satisfied. I have such a long way to go, which is another problem. I need to feel satisfied, you know, like I'm happy with everything that I've achieved, but I have so many more goals as well, and I know it takes time and patience, and everything will happen. You just have to be positive and just keep at it, you know. And I'm actually really glad I made this like informative video. I really hope it helped. And if you guys want another video on how to start a YouTube channel, I just helped my mom start her channel channel, right? So I have all this like naya information ki naye channel ke liye kya karna chahiye. Maybe I can make a short video for that if you like. But yeah, I hope this helps like all of you creators out there who are starting out or in the, you know, like have done it for a few years, who just wanted a little bit more information. I love hearing from other creators how they manage their work, because यहाँ पे कोई set model नहीं है जो आप follow कर सकते हो. So it's cool to like see what other people do. And yeah, hopefully this helped, guys. Please subscribe and share this video and like it and freaking press the bell button and turn on those damn notifications and all of that stuff, man. Sab kar do. And I'll see you soon. Bye. What happened to my voice? It's been a long video. See you.